Did you know that in 2025, over 500,000 young professionals are projected to leave the UK? That's right. 500,000 talented, educated, and ambitious individuals are saying goodbye to Britain. But why? What's driving this sudden exodus? Is it the crippling cost of living, where even renting a modest flat feels like a luxury? Or perhaps it's the endless cycle of stagnant wages and soaring inflation, making financial security feel like a distant dream? Could it be the political turmoil, leaving many feeling uncertain about the country's future? Imagine this. You've spent years working hard, earning your qualifications and climbing the career ladder, only to realise that owning a home, saving for the future, or even enjoying a decent work-life balance seems impossible. Meanwhile, friends and colleagues are posting pictures from Canada, Australia, or Germany, living seemingly happier, more fulfilled lives. The reality is that the UK is facing a brain drain like never before, an unprecedented migration of talent that could have serious consequences for its economy and society. But what's the full story behind this trend? And more importantly, what does it mean for the future of the UK? Stick around, because we're diving deep into the 10 biggest reasons young professionals are fleeing, and some of these might surprise you. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the dreams and lives of a generation. So why are they leaving? And could the UK do anything to stop it? Let's find out. Number 1. Economic pressures. It's no secret that the UK's economy in 2025 is feeling the strain. But for young professionals, the impact has been devastating. Imagine earning a decent salary, only to see most of it vanish into the black hole of skyrocketing rent, energy bills, and food prices. For many, it feels like they're running on a treadmill that's speeding up while their paycheck stays stubbornly the same. The cost of living crisis is one of the biggest reasons young professionals are packing their bags. A recent survey revealed that over 60% of millennials and Gen Z workers in the UK feel financially worse off than they did just 5 years ago. Basic necessities, like groceries and utilities, have surged in price, while wages have barely kept pace with inflation. And then there's the housing market, one of the most unaffordable in Europe. Renting in cities like London, Manchester, and Edinburgh can easily consume half or more of a young professional's income, leaving little room for savings, let alone aspirations like owning a home or travelling. But it doesn't end there. Student loan repayments are also taking a hefty chunk out of earnings, leaving many feeling trapped in a cycle of debt. Compare this to countries like Germany or the Netherlands, where living costs are lower, wages are higher, and public services like transportation are far more affordable. For young professionals in the UK, staying feels like a losing battle. Many are asking themselves, why struggle here when I can build a better life abroad? Economic pressures are not just squeezing wallets, they're squeezing dreams, pushing thousands to seek greener pastures elsewhere. And this is just the beginning. Let's dive into another key factor driving the exodus: the UK's housing crisis. Number 2. The housing crisis. For young professionals in the UK, the housing market feels like an insurmountable wall. Whether it's renting or buying, finding an affordable place to live has become a nearly impossible task. A recent study revealed that average rents in major cities have increased by over 20% in just the past 2 years, with no signs of slowing down. Imagine working a full-time job, earning a competitive salary, and still struggling to afford a small apartment in cities like London, Manchester, or Bristol. In some areas, rent can consume more than 50% of monthly income, leaving little for savings or other necessities. Buying a home is even more out of reach. The average house price in the UK is now over £290,000, and with rising interest rates, mortgages have become prohibitively expensive. But it's not just the prices, it's the supply. The UK has faced a housing shortage for decades, and the construction of new homes hasn't kept pace with demand. For renters, this means fierce competition for limited properties, often leading to bidding wars that drive up prices further. Meanwhile, governments have promised reforms, but meaningful change has yet to materialise. Critics argue that policies aimed at boosting housing supply often fall short, leaving young professionals with few options but to move abroad. In countries like Canada or Australia, housing markets are far more accessible, and governments actively work to make home ownership a realistic goal. The housing crisis isn't just a financial burden, it's an emotional one. For many, it feels like they're being locked out of a stable future in the UK. Next, let's explore how tax burdens are pushing even more young professionals to reconsider where they want to call home. Number 3. Tax burden. For young professionals in the UK, taxes have become a growing source of frustration, with many feeling like they're paying more while getting less in return. Over the past few years, tax rates have steadily increased, particularly for middle and higher earners, groups that include many skilled professionals and entrepreneurs. The income tax brackets, combined with rising national insurance contributions, mean that a significant portion of a professional's salary is deducted before they even see it. For freelancers and small business owners, the situation can be even more daunting. The complexities of self-assessment taxes, combined with additional burdens like VAT and corporation tax, make staying in the UK less appealing for those looking to build something of their own. A major complaint is the lack of visible benefits for these high tax payments. Public services, such as healthcare and transport, are under increasing strain, leaving many wondering where their money is going. Compare this to countries like Switzerland or the Nordic nations, where taxes are higher, but citizens see clear benefits in the form of excellent infrastructure, healthcare, and social support. Brexit has also added layers of complexity, with many young professionals feeling the pinch of reduced tax advantages when working internationally or running cross-border businesses. In contrast, other countries are introducing tax incentives to attract global talent. For instance, Portugal offers a non-habitual residence tax scheme, and Dubai has long been a tax haven for professionals seeking to maximise their earnings. The UK's tax system, combined with its high cost of living, often feels like a double-edged sword. Professionals find themselves taxed heavily on stagnant wages, with little relief or incentive to stay. For a generation that values financial independence and flexibility, this burden is a significant push factor. As we move forward, another critical issue emerges: the stagnant job market that's making career growth in the UK an uphill battle. Number 4. Stagnant job market. For young professionals in the UK, the job market in 2025 feels like a maze with no exit. Despite holding degrees, certifications, and years of experience, many are finding it harder than ever to secure jobs that offer both financial stability and career growth. One of the biggest issues is job market saturation. Fields like technology, marketing, and healthcare are flooded with qualified candidates, making competition for roles incredibly fierce. For every job posting, hundreds of applicants are vying for the same position, forcing employers to offer lower salaries or rely on temporary contracts. The lack of upward mobility is another pressing concern. Even those lucky enough to secure a position often feel stuck in roles with little opportunity for advancement. Promotions are rare and professional development programs are limited, leaving many young workers feeling undervalued and stagnant in their careers. Brexit has only compounded the problem. Many international companies have scaled back their operations in the UK, relocating to other parts of Europe. This has reduced the number of high-quality jobs available, particularly in industries like finance and technology, where young professionals once thrived. Remote work has also changed the game. While it offers flexibility, it has made jobs in other countries more accessible. Why settle for a role in the UK with limited growth potential when companies in Canada, Germany, or the United States are offering better pay, benefits, and opportunities, all while working from the comfort of home? The stagnant job market isn't just about employment, it's about ambition. For a generation that values innovation and growth, the lack of opportunities feels suffocating. Many are deciding that if the UK can't offer a promising future, it's time to look elsewhere. Number 5. Political instability. Political instability has become a persistent concern for young professionals in the UK, creating a climate of uncertainty and unease about the country's future. Over the past decade, major events like Brexit, leadership changes, and ongoing debates over economic and social policies have left many questioning whether the UK is a place where they can truly thrive. The Brexit aftermath remains one of the biggest contributors to this instability. Despite years of negotiations, the long-term consequences of leaving the European Union are still unfolding. From trade restrictions to reduced international collaboration, the ripple effects have been felt across industries. For young professionals, this means fewer opportunities to work with global companies or pursue careers abroad under EU agreements. The constant leadership turnover in recent years has also eroded trust in the government's ability to enact meaningful, long-term change. Policies often feel reactive rather than proactive, leaving young people with little confidence that their concerns, like housing, healthcare, and education, are being addressed. Another pressing issue is the perceived rollback of civil liberties and progressive policies. Issues like restrictions on protests, changes to immigration laws, and debates over workers' rights have made some young professionals feel that the UK is moving away from the inclusive and innovative values they align with. Meanwhile, other nations are presenting themselves as more stable and forward-thinking. Countries like Canada, New Zealand, and Germany are actively promoting immigration policies designed to attract skilled workers and entrepreneurs. These nations offer political stability, economic opportunity, and a sense of security that many in the UK feel is lacking. For young professionals, the uncertainty surrounding the UK's political future isn't just frustrating, it's a deal breaker. Many are choosing to leave, seeking countries where stability and progress aren't just promises, but tangible realities. Number 6. Education and skill development. For young professionals, education and skill development are the foundations of a successful career. But in the UK, these building blocks are becoming increasingly inaccessible. The high cost of higher education and the lack of affordable training opportunities are leaving many feeling trapped in a system that doesn't support their ambitions. The average student debt in the UK now exceeds £45,000, a staggering figure that weighs heavily on graduates as they enter the workforce. Unlike other countries, where student loans come with low interest rates or are forgiven after a set period, UK graduates face years, even decades, of repayments. This debt burden leaves little room for additional investments in career growth, such as certifications, postgraduate degrees, or specialised training. For those who want to enhance their skills, the challenges don't stop at debt. Access to affordable, high-quality training programs is limited, especially in high-demand fields like technology, healthcare, and green energy. While other nations actively subsidise skill development programs to keep their workforces competitive, the UK has been slow to adopt such measures. Moreover, the disconnect between the education system and the job market has left many young professionals feeling unprepared for real-world challenges. Outdated curricula and limited industry partnerships mean that students often graduate without the practical skills employers are looking for. Contrast this with countries like Germany and Canada, where vocational training and apprenticeships are widely accessible and highly regarded. These programs allow professionals to gain hands-on experience while earning a living, creating a more direct path to career success. The UK's inability to provide accessible education and skill development opportunities isn't just a personal hurdle, it's a national issue. As global competition intensifies, countries offering better training and education are attracting the brightest minds. For many young professionals, leaving the UK is no longer a choice, it's a necessity. Number 7. Declining quality of life. For many young professionals in the UK, the daily grind has become increasingly unsustainable, with a noticeable decline in overall quality of life. Rising costs, overburdened public services, and growing mental health challenges are making it harder to envision a fulfilling future in the country. One of the biggest contributors is the strain on public services. The NHS, once a point of pride for the UK, is struggling under unprecedented pressure. Long waiting times for medical appointments, overcrowded emergency rooms, and a shortage of healthcare professionals have left many feeling neglected when they need care the most. Public transportation is another sore point, with aging infrastructure and frequent disruptions making commutes unreliable and stressful. The work-life balance is another critical issue. A recent survey found that over 40% of young professionals in the UK feel chronically overworked. Long hours, minimal vacation time, and the increasing demand to be constantly available, even outside working hours, are taking a toll on mental health. Compare this to countries like Denmark or Sweden, where shorter work weeks and an emphasis on work-life balance contribute to higher levels of happiness and well-being. Rising levels of stress and burnout are further compounded by the country's urban living conditions. In many cities, green spaces are limited, and overcrowding creates a sense of disconnect. These factors significantly impact mental health, making life feel more like survival than enjoyment. Meanwhile, countries like New Zealand, Canada, and the Netherlands offer a stark contrast, boasting cleaner environments, accessible healthcare, and a culture that prioritizes well-being. For young professionals looking for more than just a paycheck, these nations are becoming highly attractive alternatives. The decline in quality of life isn't just about comfort, it's about sustainability. For young professionals, staying in the UK often feels like sacrificing their health and happiness, pushing many to seek better opportunities abroad. Number 8. Global opportunities. In a hyper-connected world, young professionals are no longer bound by borders. Global opportunities have opened doors to exciting careers, better living standards, and life-changing experiences. And for many in the UK, these opportunities are too good to pass up. One of the most attractive factors is the higher wages and better benefits offered abroad. Countries like Canada, Germany, and Australia actively recruit skilled professionals with promises of competitive salaries, robust healthcare systems, and pension plans that ensure long-term security. Compared to the UK, where rising taxes and stagnant wages create financial strain, these perks are a game changer. Beyond money, these countries also provide a better work-life balance. Nations like Sweden and Denmark lead the way with shorter work weeks, extended parental leave, and flexible working conditions. For young professionals prioritizing mental health and personal growth, these policies make a significant difference. The rise of remote work has further expanded global opportunities. Talented individuals no longer need to relocate to access international jobs. They can now work for companies in Silicon Valley, Singapore, or Berlin without leaving the comfort of their homes, or explore digital nomad visas offered by countries like Portugal and Estonia, blending work with travel. Moreover, many countries actively roll out the red carpet for skilled immigrants. From Canada's Express Entry Program to Australia's Global Talent Visa, these initiatives make relocation seamless. The UK, in contrast, has tightened immigration rules post-Brexit, reducing its appeal to both inbound and outbound talent. For young professionals, the world is brimming with options. It's not just about chasing bigger paychecks. It's about pursuing a life where ambitions align with opportunities and where personal growth isn't limited by geography. The allure of global opportunities highlights a stark reality. The UK is competing against nations that are actively adapting to attract talent. Next, let's dive into the changing values of young professionals and how they're influencing this mass migration. Number 9. Changing values among young professionals. The younger generation isn't just chasing paychecks. They're chasing purpose, balance, and fulfillment. In 2025, young professionals are reshaping what it means to lead a successful life. And for many, the UK no longer aligns with these evolving values. One of the biggest shifts is the prioritization of work-life balance. Unlike previous generations, young professionals are less willing to endure the grind of long hours and constant stress without meaningful rewards. They want time to pursue hobbies, travel, and nurture relationships. In countries like New Zealand, Finland, and the Netherlands, this balance is baked into the culture. The UK, by contrast, is still rooted in an outdated work until you drop mentality. Another key value is the pursuit of mental health and well-being. The pressures of living in the UK, high costs, job instability, and declining public services are contributing to widespread stress and burnout. Young professionals are choosing to relocate to countries where mental health is a priority, with access to green spaces, community-focused living, and supportive workplace environments. Additionally, this generation is more drawn to experiences over material possessions. They'd rather spend their resources on travel, cultural exploration, and personal growth than on owning a home or climbing a traditional corporate ladder. Countries with thriving expat communities and vibrant cultures, like Spain, Portugal, and Thailand, are especially appealing. The desire for meaningful work also plays a role. Many young professionals are seeking careers in industries that align with their values, like sustainability, social impact, and tech innovation. They're finding that countries with forward-thinking policies, such as Germany's commitment to renewable energy or Canada's focus on inclusivity, provide more opportunities to contribute to meaningful causes. These changing values reflect a deeper question: what does it mean to live a good life? For many, the answer lies outside the UK, where personal and professional aspirations feel more achievable. Next, let's uncover the final factor fueling this exodus: the influence of cultural shifts and global connectivity. Number 10. Cultural shifts and global connectivity. The world is more connected than ever before, and this unprecedented global reach is reshaping how young professionals view their place in it. Cultural shifts and advances in technology have made it easier for individuals to imagine a life beyond the UK, further fueling the exodus of young talent in 2025. The rise of global connectivity through social media, digital communities, and remote work has allowed young professionals to see firsthand how others live and thrive in different parts of the world. Platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok are flooded with posts showcasing vibrant expat lifestyles in places like Lisbon, Dubai, and Bali. These snapshots of better weather, lower costs of living, and exciting cultures make staying in the UK feel limiting by comparison. Cultural shifts have also played a major role. This generation places a high value on diversity, inclusivity, and innovation, seeking environments that celebrate individuality and creativity. Post-Brexit Britain, with its restrictive immigration policies and perceived insularity, often feels at odds with these ideals. Many young professionals feel more at home in countries that embrace multiculturalism and foster innovation. Technology has made it easier than ever to relocate and integrate, from expat forums to apps designed for finding housing and work abroad. The barriers to starting fresh in a new country have significantly decreased. Nations like Estonia, which boasts a digital-first approach, and Singapore, with its tech-savvy infrastructure, are leveraging these tools to attract global talent. Meanwhile, the cultural appeal of flexible, location-independent work has surged. Young professionals are now part of a global movement that prioritizes mobility and freedom over traditional, location-bound careers. The ability to work remotely from stunning destinations has shifted aspirations away from a single country mindset to a truly global one. These cultural shifts and global connections aren't just trends. They're reshaping the way young professionals define success. For many, the UK's traditional values and offerings no longer resonate, prompting them to seek vibrant, forward-thinking environments abroad. With all these factors combined, it's clear why the UK is experiencing this talent exodus in 2025. In 2025, the UK is facing a critical brain drain as young professionals leave in record numbers. From economic pressures and the housing crisis to stagnant job markets and political instability, the challenges are stacking up. Add to this the allure of global opportunities, better quality of life abroad, and a cultural shift toward prioritizing mental health and work-life balance. And it's no surprise that many are choosing to leave. This mass migration isn't just about dissatisfaction, it's about a generation demanding more. Young professionals are no longer content with the status quo. They want careers that challenge and fulfill them, communities that support their well-being, and governments that invest in their futures. Meanwhile, other countries are stepping up, offering what the UK seems to lack: accessible housing, thriving job markets, and forward-thinking policies. These nations aren't just destinations, they're launching pads for dreams. The big question now is, can the UK adapt? To stop this talent exodus, bold action is needed. Policies that address these systemic issues and restore faith in the country's potential. This is more than a generational shift. It's a wake-up call for the UK to rethink what it offers to its most ambitious and driven citizens. Before you go, we want to hear from you. What do you think the UK needs to do to keep its young talent? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could spark a great discussion. Also, if you found this video thought-provoking, check out our previous videos for more on UK trends shaping the future. Your support means everything to us. These videos take time, effort, and passion to create. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel with just one click. It's a small action that helps us keep bringing you valuable content. Thank you for watching.